Let's add another obstacle, this time the seesaw. I provided you with the base asset under your prefabs, and it's called a seesaw. And this is a pretty simple object. It's meant to kind of bend or kind of fall in the direction that you're standing on it, and then kind of go back to the center if you get off of it, so you can try again if you fail. So I'm going to drop one of these in my game world. I'm going to resize it a little bit. You're welcome to resize these however much you want to fit into this gap so that I have a little bit of space for the player to hopefully hop across to the other side here. And let's test it out. How does a seesaw work? So first things first, see if I can make this jump. I'm going to kind of try to make the gap here. And as I jump on one end, I see it goes up. And if I get to the other edge, I can kind of slow that turn, buy myself some time, and come back and level it out a little bit. And it's going to turn that way, and oh, it fell off, and it resets back to normal. So the player has a path, but it's a bit more than harder than just a regular jump, and I can kind of get it up higher and then jump off the end of it to give myself some extra height. Sometimes the jump is a little glitchy off the top of it, but it should be able to help the player get to another spot where they normally maybe couldn't jump, although this jump is actually pretty reachable. But you can design it in a way where the player has to kind of raise one end to have enough height to make the jump as a great game mechanic. Another thing that we can change about the seesaw is its mass. Right now, the mass of my player, if I look at its rigid body for physics, is 1. It's very light. And this seesaw is at 10. What happens if I make its mass 1 as well? Well, now it's a much lighter, a much flimsier platform. And of course, I run right into an obstacle, which means that if I jump on it, it should, whoa, fall out beneath me very fast because it has way less resistance to my mass. I kind of like just plow it right over. So this could be interesting to make a really hard pathway for players who have to be really precise to only jump on the middles of these platforms. And of course, you can also increase the mass to be much, much stiffer, which I'll show you a case where that might make a lot of sense here. What if I made a higher level platform that was particularly wide, like this? And I actually want to make a bit of a visual of the middle of this platform to add to this to make it look a bit more distinct. But right now, this platform, I'm going to make this mass closer to 50 and run my game. And since the mass is higher, it's going to turn more slowly, which means that my player, if I can get my jump up, oh, jump isn't functioning very well on the slopes at the moment. See if I can patch that up before I release this project to you. And of course, my jump isn't going to work nicely right now. Let's just lower this a little bit to make it reachable just by walking off the edge here. I've constrained my jump a little bit too much in this game, it seems. And now on one edge, look, it kind of goes a little bit more slowly, but for a longer platform, might be the mechanic that you want to force the player to have to kind of change sides as they walk across. Or maybe even if I want to reach a higher platform, actually, let me just raise this really quick, a bit higher. So now it's kind of too high to jump to normally, but if I raise my platform, maybe I have the height to make the jump. So it's kind of an interesting puzzle element to have to use the orientation of a platform to solve the different puzzle. And you have the ability to add these seesaws wherever you like into your game to add some more content, to provide some more interesting platforms for your player to go across. I'm just going to finish this by making this a little bit smaller again, a little bit narrower, dropping it back over here, and maybe putting it back down to that level 10 that I liked for the spot earlier. And there's the seesaw.